Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Marte Method. Here is part two of starting the non-lucrative visa for Spain. Sorry it's been a bit. We've been busy. Um, we're exhausted. It's been a long, long path um, between get everything sold at the house, painting, pressure washing, giving things, selling things, um, catching up with everybody, which has been amazing. It's we're getting there. We're getting there. Um, so sorry for the delay and sorry for Heather not popping up yet. She will be here soon. I'll get her on here. It's just a matter of convincing her that get over her stage fright. But she'll get on here soon. But let's carry on with this. Let's get with this paperwork here. Should be fairly simple. On to use search engine Spain BLS. You click on BLS. You get this disclaimer here that says intermediaries, pretty much third parties, it's fraud. So don't do it because all BLS forms and visa processes are through BLS. Our consulate was Washington, D.C., but choose your respective one. Here we have another disclaimer. There are a few things there that you should go through as for students and so forth. There's a medical certificate that I think that changed with the students, but this part right here changes constantly and they update it constantly. There is the insurance for the long-term visa here. And if you click on that, it will send you to a third party. You fill in the basic info. And I do believe we didn't go through this. But you do have I think it's like the marketplace for the international insurance. So they'll get your quotes and so forth for that. So that's very useful there. I wish we had done that initially. Um, but, that's there for you if you need it. Let's see. So we'll continue on with, where is it? Visa type. It's a non-lucrative visa. And then you're going to go to download forms. We're going to get all of these forms here opened up, which I already have them up here. So I'm going to start with the disclaimer. It tells you that the council is not responsible for any damage or anything or loss of paperwork during transport, which is disconcerting. But if the post office does their job properly, it should be okay. So keep up the good work. Let's see. And then we have the medical certificate template, in which it has the English and Spanish translation on it. What you would need to do here is get your name here and get your name here. So make sure your name is filled out completely in both spaces. Now, you do need a medical provider to fill this out. It can't be a PA. It can't be a nurse practitioner. It has to be a physician. So make sure that you get your stamp, you get your doctor's signature, you get your doctor's license number in whatever city and state that you're in on whatever day, whatever month, whatever year. And it has all the good old instructions there, but that's what it is there. So once you have that completed, it also needs to be notarized because they need to make sure that the doctor's signature is authentic. So hopefully your doctor's office has a notary there. If not, you will have to have a traveling notary to meet you at your appointment to get this filled out. But make sure it is notarized. Now, for this form here for the residence permit, It looks complicated, but there are instructions for it, and they're quick and simple, easy peasy, and it gives you the bullet points of where to connect the dots and fill everything else out. So we're going to skip that because that has instructions to that. The same with this here. For the XO1, and it has everything that you need here, just like the other form with all the placements of everything. And this is the real nitty-gritty of it. This is the application form for the visa, which all you would need to do is fill your last name here. If you are married and you have a surname, you put that here, and the first name here. So last name, first name, and then if you were married, your maiden name. That's what it is, your maiden name. You need your date of birth here, and it is day, month, year. It's going to be confusing, but make sure you follow that guideline, day, month, year, because that's how they do it in Europe. The place of birth is the city, and here for the country, you need to put, so you can't put United States, and you can't put Estados Unidos. You have to put E.E.U.U. So two E's, two U's. I forget the translation or what the acronym is for, but that's what you need to do. The nationality, the current nationality is the same. If you're from America, it has to be EEUU. Don't worry about this unless it is different. The nationality at birth is different. Other nationalities, I don't think, well, it's always possible. That's why it's there. But that's what you need to fill out there. And then once you scroll down, once you're done filling that, you choose male or female, and then your marital status there. Okay, in this spot here, number 10, this is for your minors. So we had to fill out both for our daughters. I put Heather's name here, my name here, the address, both our phone numbers. So I put hers underneath her name, mine underneath mine, with, how did I split it up? I kind of split it in thirds. So I put Heather's name, phone number, email. I put my name, phone number, email, and then EEUU for both, and then the address on the very bottom. But there's not a lot of space that they provide, so you kind of have to work with it. We didn't worry about because we don't have a national identity number. But this here, the type of document, passport, ordinary passport, unless you have another type of passport. But default passport, ordinary passport. And then your passport number, the date of issue. And again, it has to be date, month, year. So remember that, date, month, year. That goes there. And then the valid date again, date, month, year, or day. Let's see, issued by EEUU once again. The applicant's home address is your address here or wherever you live currently. Your phone number. Let's see. This is the country of my country. So normally that would be a no. And then for the current occupation, whatever job you may hold at the moment, and then the main purpose of the journey, if you're doing non-lucrative, it's right here, the very first one. But read it, double check, because the forms may differ. It might update it randomly, so always double check it. Intended date of entry. Again, whatever date you put, it is day, month, year. And then for hours, we put multiple entries just in case, because you never know. The applicant's address in Spain. Now, this here, the Spanish addresses are a little strange. So just make sure that you place it pretty much how you see it, how they have it over there. Um, and it might look a little weird, but just fill it out how you have it. If you get a rental contract, fill it out how it is on there. The foreign, the NIE, you don't have that. That's on the other form that you're filling out as well. That's pretty much it, because the other stuff is for sponsorships, but this is typically not for the non-lucrative visa. This is more like for your students, your workers, and so forth. The same thing here, the employer and so forth. And I think this one's the school. Yeah, the Study or Resource Center. So these forms, unless you're doing the student visa or the work visa, those you don't have to worry about. You can just keep that blank. And the same with this one here. So then you would just have to worry about this part. Now here you place the consulate office that you are tied to. So for us, we put Washington, D.C. with the date of the appointment. We just put Washington, D.C. here and left the date blank until our appointment day. And again, it is day, month, year. And then sign your name right there. And that's that form. And then it's done. Everything else, again, they have the instructions on there, so you should be able to fill that out easy. Alrighty, here is our form for affidavit that we did. It's pretty basic. It has the information that they required. Um, nothing too fluffed or not overdoing it. Pretty much we followed the guideline of what they needed, which was the purpose of the stay, the financial means, the known lucrative activity or the non-working portion of it, your name, your passport number. That way they can tie it into the forms, as well as the address of the place that you'll be staying in Spain. So here is the general info. It needed a title. I don't understand why, and why they don't automatically have a template for it is beyond me. But it has our names, our citizenry, our passport numbers. Again, that way they have the order of information there that ties into the paperwork, along with our current address where we were, or where we're moving from, along with this verbiage, solemnly declare under oath that why you're requesting the lucrative visa, the non-lucrative visa. They want to show proof that you have the financial means, in which we just put on there. We showed you the proof in the other paperwork with the bank statements. Your non-lucrative activity, and it has to say this exact verbiage again. Let's see, let's pull the second one up. That we will not engage in any form of paid work and so forth. We will not seek employment, and this is strictly for retirement and enjoyment purposes. They're real sticklers about it. I didn't go to the next page, no. Here is our page 2, where it says that we will not engage in any form of work, and so forth, no employment. We're just strictly retiring. We're taking a sabbatical for the year because we eventually do want to work. But just to get there, this is the route that we took. Um, and then the place of residence, we will initially reside in our address in Spain while continue to look for a permanent home. And then this declaration and so forth with all our names. Now we needed lines for everybody's name and signature. And then for the children, we got mine, my wife's, and then the children's. And then again, since they're minors, you have to have parent or guardian signature on there. So be mindful of that. And then the last bit of info that they will need is the proof that you're going to be leaving your job, your resignation letter, if you work for an employee here in the States. If you're self-employed, make sure that it is a letter. I don't get it because what I did was I submitted an email that I sent to my clients stating that I will be closing down the business at the end of June in order to move to Spain. And there was a small hiccup at the consulate office where they had to reach out to the office in Spain before they sent it off to see if it was even an acceptable letter. So make sure that you have like full documentation and full breakdown saying that you're not going to work and so forth. Now, being that we were trying to play it safe for Heather's sake, she had the verbiage of, let's see, the determination is based on Heather's decision to relocate to Spain will coincide with the approval of their Spain non-lucrative visa. So for whatever reason, if they didn't approve us, Heather still had a job. But they approved us, so it works out. But just to make sure that your employers are aware of the situation, along with having them be okay with you leaving, and then if you're not leaving, that you can still work there with no harm, no foul. So hopefully that works out for you. But these guys at Eagle Physicians are great, and they kind of made everything seamless there for Heather, so it was perfect. Other than that, I think that's all the extra forms that you need. Just make sure you have the birth certificates fresh and notarized and apostilled, along with marriage certificates and anything else of that nature. Okay, here is our time frame. I'm pulling this back up only because it'll kind of give you an idea of what we did. And if you time it right, ours took 6 months. Ours was a 6-month process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8-month process. We could have probably shortened it down to like 4. I've been gone by April, probably. But BLS, the website itself to get appointments is a little tricky because I think it only comes out a month at a time. So let's say, where are we? We're on 6/17 here. So let's say we want to check BLS. I only think it gives you 30 days out. So it'll give you like 4 or 5 weeks. The other thought process is that maybe the calendar only comes out on the 1st and it only gives you that month. So you can only schedule within the month. Because it was a little hairy when we got our apostle documents back. We started looking at appointments about this week to see what was available. And there wasn't anything for this month. So then I checked April 1st, I want to say, or the 2nd. and saw that these appointments were available. So I'm not sure if people canceled when I checked over here and people canceled then, or if it's, to see if it's 30 days from whatever date you look. So if I had checked on the 19th, that it would only show me up until the 19th. Or if it was just for each month is when the calendar becomes available. So then I was able to get these appointments. But yeah, but if you can sort out the time frame of your appointment, you should be able to get this done within like 3 to 4 months, as long as you have everything together. Because fingerprints were done here, and then were received here with the apostle. So that was 4, about 4.5 weeks for the fingerprints. But we waited for the fingerprints to get back before we started on all the other paperwork. So if you could, once you get the fingerprints out, and I don't even know why we waited. I think we were waiting on if somebody committed a crime or something for whatever reason. I'm not even sure why we waited. Um, but we should have had everything started by then. Um, so we started out filling paperwork here, but it took us a little bit of time because of, holidays and birthdays and so forth. But on the 7th, no, but we did manage to squeeze it in there because on the 17th of February, we got our birth certificates and marriage certificates off to the apostle. But I needed to get fresh copies of the marriage certificate from the courthouse or the magistrate. And then the birth certificates for the girls, I had to get them at Vital Records. So they had to get fresh printed copies. And luckily they have notaries there. So you get them notarized while you're there. And then you send them off to get apostilled. And then we got the apostle documents back in, let's see, 3.5 weeks. And then once all that was set, then I looked for the appointments to go to the consulate. And then we started selling stuff off with the first yard sale. And it took 2 weeks to hear back from BLS saying that we got approved. And then we went to go pick up the passports back to DC. So, I mean, that was a good old trip there to DC for this weekend. And then have to do it again here, just to pick them up. Now, if you're doing, I think, student visas, I believe, are available for courier, delivery. Why the non-lucrative isn't is beyond me. But that was a whole nother round trip there to DC, 5 hours away. So it was like 10 hours plus with traffic and everything. And then we had our second yard sale here, and we're leaving here. But really, if you're able to nail everything down with the paperwork, you should be able to get this done in 3 to 4 months tops. Because what we should have done is, once we got done with the fingerprints, then got all of the birth certificates and marriage certificates done here as well, and sent that off. Because then we would have had everything back by the end of the year in December, as far as the fingerprints, the birth certificates apostille, and the marriage certificate apostille. And then we could have just made our appointments in January for BLS at the consulate. And that would have been it. And that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4 months right there. So it is possible to shorten the time as long as you know what you're doing and you have everything in order.